All right, welcome to our explainer. Today, we are diving deep into a dimension of conflict that you literally can't see. It's not fought with bullets or bombs, but with radio waves and packets of data. This is the incredible story of electronic warfare. I want you to think about something for a second. Imagine a battlefield that is completely invisible. It stretches all around us across the entire globe, and the fight is for control of the very airwaves we depend on. Now, this isn't science fiction. This is the reality of modern conflict. So what is electronic warfare, or EW, as you'll hear it called? Well, to put it simply, it's the art of using the electromagnetic spectrum as both a weapon and a shield. It's all about seeing without being seen, and maybe more importantly, making sure your opponent is both deaf and blind. This is the core idea we're going to unpack today. Now, to really understand where we are today, we have to go back. We have to look at where this all got started. And the real catalyst, the moment this invisible arms race truly ignited, was the Second World War. You know, the basic idea wasn't entirely new. Even way back in the age of the telegraph, armies were already cutting lines and intercepting messages. And once radio came along, the very first electronic attacks were, well, pretty simple, just blasting enemy frequencies with static. Pretty crude stuff, but hey, it was a start. But the technology that changed everything was radar. I mean, think about it. All of a sudden, you could spot ships and planes from huge distances away, no matter if it was pitch black or cloudy. It was like humanity had just developed a sixth sense. And, of course, once you have a sense that powerful, your enemy is going to do absolutely anything to take it away. So the first big response wasn't just about making noise. It was about deception. This is where chaff comes in, and it was a truly pivotal moment. Chaff is, believe it or not, just tiny strips of metal foil. But when you drop them from a plane, they create this huge, confusing cloud on an enemy's radar screen. It was brilliantly simple and devastatingly effective. It was used in major operations like the Allied raids over Hamburg to completely blind German air defenses. And what's just wild, when you look at it laid out like this, is the speed of it all. You can literally see this frantic cat and mouse game playing out in real time. Radar gets deployed, and almost immediately, countermeasures like chaff are invented to defeat it. By the time the war ended, this wasn't just a collection of tricks anymore. It was the beginning of a whole new military discipline. So let's jump forward to the Cold War, because this is where things get really serious. This is the era where EW truly comes of age. It goes from a bunch of ad hoc tactics to a structured, absolutely essential part of military strategy, and it's built on three core pillars. This breakdown right here is so crucial. Just think of it like this: ears, voice, and shield. Electronic support is your ears. You're listening in, you're mapping out what the enemy is doing electronically. Electronic attack is your voice. You're actively jamming their signals or tricking your systems. And electronic protection is your shield, making sure your own electronics can withstand an attack. Ears, voice, shield. Simple as that. Okay, let's dig into that attack part for a second, because there's a really important difference between jamming and spoofing. Jamming is just brute force. It's like shouting over someone at a party so nobody can hear what they're saying. Spoofing, on the other hand, is way more subtle. That's like mimicking someone's voice to give fake orders. You're not just making noise, you're feeding the enemy's systems convincing but totally false information. And during the Cold War, you have to understand the stakes could not have been higher. The ability to blind an enemy's nuclear early warning radars was a central, non-negotiable part of military strategy. Controlling the spectrum wasn't just about winning a battle anymore, it was about maintaining the entire global balance of power and preventing annihilation. And that, of course, brings us to the modern era. Because the digital revolution didn't just change our everyday lives. It completely and totally transformed this invisible battlefield, turning it into a new digital frontline. This comparison really lays it out perfectly. Look, traditional EW was all about dominating specific radio frequencies. Modern EW, it's about dominating entire digital networks. The targets aren't just single radars or radios anymore. Now, it's about command and control systems, GPS satellites, and even the software running on the weapons themselves. And this convergence of worlds has created a whole new field, cyber EW. This is where hacking meets electronic attack. It's no longer just about disrupting a signal from the outside. It's about getting inside the enemy's digital systems to feed a radar false data from within, or to shut down a comms network with a single line of malicious code. So what does this actually look like today? Well, its fingerprints are everywhere. The The GPS that guides a smart bomb can be jammed or spoofed, sending it way off course. An entire military's information network can be targeted all at once. And maybe the biggest change of all, this tech isn't just for superpowers anymore. Commercially available drones can be modified for EW, giving smaller groups capabilities that were once reserved for massive nations. But all this incredible, relentless progress, well, it brings us to some really profound and frankly unsettling questions. As these systems get more powerful, more autonomous, we are entering a brand new world of ethical dilemmas. Right, so the next frontier here is autonomy. We are building EW systems right now that use artificial intelligence to detect, identify, and neutralize threats in microseconds, way, way faster than any human could possibly react. The machine is making the call, which leads us to this massive, inescapable question. When an autonomous system gets it wrong, when it misidentifies a civilian airliner as a bomber, for example, who is responsible? Is it the programmer? The commander who deployed it? Is it the machine itself? And what's really fascinating here is how all of this starts to eat away at our very perception of reality. As the spoofing technology gets more and more advanced, the integrity of all digital information gets called into question. I mean, if any sensor can be tricked, if any data stream can be faked, what can we actually trust? And this is the final thought I really want to leave you with. This isn't just a military issue anymore. As these capabilities inevitably bleed out into the civilian world, we face a future where our own senses, what we see and hear, can be digitally hijacked. In that world, on that invisible battlefield, how will any of us know what's truly real?